Alrighty, what's up, Deck Talk podcast listeners? This is Chris Martin here at the Daiwa booth at Big Rock. We're looking at the Daiwa Tatula Elite PF. So the PF model is going to be our pitch and flip specific reel. So what makes this reel uniquely specific to pitching and flipping are going to come down to a few unique factors. So at first you'll notice we've got that nice oversized handle knobs. Great for comfortability, easy to grab onto after you've made your pitch, easy to find that handle. The next thing on these reels that's going to aid in pitching and flipping is going to be a very lightweight spool. So that lightweight spool aids in preventing backlashes from happening. The less weight on the spool, the less weight for that spool to continue to spin and cause backlashes once that bait has stopped and the line has stopped after the bait's hit the water. So very lightweight spool is very important. The other really unique feature about the pitch and flip model is the braking system inside of the side plate. So the spool actually has a piece that sits within a magnetic, two magnetic rings inside of the side plate. Now, the piece of metal that slides between those two rings is calibrated for a very specific type of action. So it allows the bait to traverse at a nice even slope into the water, calibrating so that you don't get that backlash as your bait hits the water. So that translates to basically a seamless or silent entry into the water, which we all know is pretty important, so you don't want to spook those fish. So a really unique setup on there. Aluminum side plating and a zero adjuster cast control knob. Now a zero adjuster, some people don't really quite know what that would be. So a zero adjuster basically means that these reels come tuned out of the package. You do not need to make any adjustments with that cast control knob, unlike a lot of other reels where you kind of have to tune that in. These are tuned perfectly. All it needs to do is stay tight enough to control the spool within the housing moving left to right. Once it's done and set like that, you do not need to make any adjustments. The only adjustments that you do need to make for the size of your baits, or if you've got wind conditions that are happening, pushing your bait around, slowing the bait around, or if you decide to throw a heavier or lower weight lure, you adjust simply with the dial on the side here. So if you're throwing, let's say, half ounce bullet weight, you can adjust that on the side, and you might start at about, maybe a 6 or an 8 along that dial. Take a pitch and see how it feels. If you feel like you could get further distance and you need to get further distance, you can dial that back. If you feel like the resistance is a little bit too much and you're not quite making it into that little pitch point, then you're going to want to dial that back up and allow that bait to get a more seamless entry and preventing that backlash as well. So, phenomenal reel. Nice handles on it, great braking system in the inside there, as well as a very lightweight spool, prevents your backlashes. Phenomenal reel. Available in a 7.1 to 1 as well as an 8 to 1 high-speed gear ratio, guys.